Hi class, I want to take you through how to do the first part of the lab for this module. So if you go to the modules in Blackboard, click on module 4 when it's up. It will be up on Sunday. You'll see the lab here. And what you want to do first is you want to download this data that's called Chapter 3 zip. It will be doing that from time to time this semester. So I want to find a place to put it. So I'm going to go onto my folders and I made a file called higher ed under downloads, and so then there's a file for the mount. So this is where I'm going to put it, right here under data. Okay, so I have a place that I've designated, to create a folder specifically for this information. You will need to do that or it'll be confusing. So if you right click on the white screen here in Explorer and click on New, you can create a folder, call it something, and then place all your data there. Now, when you go back to Blackboard and you click on Chapter 3 zip, it's going to put it down here on the bottom, on the left. Don't open the file. What you want to do is you want to click on the ellipse. You're going to do Show in Folder because you don't know where it downloaded it, and you want to know. I want to take this and I want to put it into my folder that I created, right? So this information, you see the little zipper there? That means this file is not usable. So if you try to use it now from your program, it won't even show it. It'll be invisible. So what you have to do is you have to unzip it. So I'm going to unzip it and I'm going to put the information inside my folder that I created. So I right click, extract all, the third one down, and then here I'm going to browse to where my folder is. So I'm going to go to Downloads, Higher Ed, MWCC, and then Data. That's going to be my folder right there. You can see it there on this path. And I extract it. There it is right there. It's called Chapter 3. That's what I'm going to be looking for during the lab. If you open it up, you see it has two subfolders. It has a map that you're going to be drawing on, and then you're going to be putting your answers inside here and here. All right, so we can minimize that. And let's go back to here. What you want to do next is you want to download this application called maptyler.com. That's the application we'll be using for this lab. Okay, you're going to click on free download. Now, free download is great. You don't have to pay for it, but it's limited in what it can do. So it's a little annoying because it has some limitations on it we have to be worried about, and I'll show you them to you. So you click on free download here, and then download for Windows. Unless you don't have Windows, then you can click on Mac OS here. Okay, and then once you download it, you wait until it's all the way downloaded. It's not a huge file, but it takes a little bit, and then you just open it. Now I already did that, and I already have the program in my computer, so I don't want to do it again. But here it is right here, maptyler, and I'm going to open it up. Okay, and maximize it. Also, don't forget to download the answer sheet. That's going to be the same questions as you'll find in your book in this particular lab. So what you want to do is answer all these questions as you go along. So what you want to do, and I'm going to go through this kind of like your book does, but you really need to follow the instructions in your book. If you get lost, that's where to go. You're going to click on Standard Tiles. You're going to open the file. You're going to go to your folder that you created. Mine's under Downloads, Higher Ed, MWCC, Data. There it is. Open it up. There's a campus map. That's what we want. Open that up. And If you've done this before, it's going to ask you to restore the previous one. Let's say you messed up and the program shut down on you or whatever, and then you just click yes. But I'm going to say no just to show you from the beginning. So you're going to set the coordinate system. Then you're going to assign local visually here. This is the top one. And what it does, it gives you the map you just opened up, and it gives you the world. Your book asks you to play with this globe button here to look at different maps. Sometimes when you do that, it crashes the system. So you don't have to do it. If you do it and it does crash, just start over. That's the easiest thing to do. Now I want you to take this map and georeference it onto the world where it belongs so it matches perfectly or as close to perfectly as possible. That's the whole point of georeferencing, is to take a map that's not georeferenced, that has no coordinates at all, and give it coordinates. So you can then overlay it on top of another map. That's what we do for GIS. So we're going to go on a little find a place. I'm going to put Youngstown. And it's a little bit of a problem. It doesn't take you exactly to the right address. And so I'm not going to put in the whole address here. I'm just going to put it in Youngstown. I'm going to look for it. I just found this to be a lot simpler for this lab. So here's Youngstown State University right there. See it? It's right next to the name of the city. So this map and that map are the same. We're going to take this map and overlay it on top of that. I'm going to spin it so it's a little bit closer looking. So here is the stadium, and then here's the stadium there. So it gives you a reference of what they look like. So what we need to do is we need to make some control points. So I'm going to pick a corner of an intersection for a control point. So here I'm going to go Lincoln Avenue and Wick Avenue. And I'm going to zoom in until I can see it pretty well, just like that. See that corner right there? I want to find the exact same corner on this map. So I'm going to zoom into here. Here's Lincoln Avenue. Here's Wick Avenue. There's the corner. I'm going to zoom into that corner, just like that. Now I'm going to put a point there by clicking once. And then I'm going to use this little arrow, 4-arrow icon to make it precise as close as I can. And then I'm going to click in the same place here. Just click once. And if it's not precise, you can move it around. If it is precise, you can just click on it. What you want to do to set it is after you jiggle it around and get it right, just click on that same icon again. You see the little blue button here and a little blue icon there. Two of them, they match. Now if we do this to 3 places, it will be enough to peg the map. So I have to find some other spots where I want to create these control points. And I want to spread them around, and I want to choose locations that are immovable. Like I don't want to use a car because cars move around. I want it to be something that I know is going to be fairly consistent and steady. So I'm going to, I could choose another intersection, let's say. Let me go here to Lincoln and 5th Avenue. So I'm going to go to Lincoln and 5th Avenue. Here it is. Zoom in a little bit on both. Do the same thing. Click there. Adjust it. And I'm going to do this quick. And here's Lincoln and 5th Avenue here. Now make sure you get the right corner, right? There's 4 corners here. You want to do the same one as this one. So it's going to be on the right. So it's this one. And then hit click. And there we go. If you get this again, just hit escape. Sometimes it shows up again. It's a little quirk. Now I want to do a third one. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit. And maybe I'll do this little triangle right there. So let me find that triangle. Okay, here's the stadium. There's a triangle there. There's a triangle there. So that's going to be 5th Avenue and eastbound Service Road. Click there, adjust, click here, and adjust if you need to. I don't in this case. Click, and now watch what happened. Notice that it actually took the map and turned it, oriented it so it's the same as this map. You see that? There's the campus. Here's the campus. Okay. Now you can actually overlay them right now just to check it out. Click on overlay on the top here, and it places one on top of the other. How do the roads match up? There's a little lever here on the top right that allows you to change the transparency of the top map so you can actually see underneath it. And you can see if your map lined up, if the roads are the same, if the buildings are the same, right? As a way to test to see how well this is doing. The other thing you can do is you can click on coordinates, and here are the coordinates that you created, those 3 points. And it gives you now, because there's only 3, it doesn't have any error rate. But as you put in more points, it will give you errors. So basically, you want to add more points to make it more accurate, because I'm going to go back to side by side here. These maps could be distorted, right? So I just put in 3 points, and so 3 points match 3 points, very easy. But what happens if I put in the 4th point? I think the book wants you to put as much as 7 points in here. So let's go to University and Wick, that corner. Here it is here. And I'm going to put another point here. Just. And then you notice how it already puts in the point here, because once it has 3 and you put in the 4th one, it already knows where it's going to be. So now all you have to do is you don't have to even click there. It automatically puts your crosshair there, and you just have to adjust it. Okay, now once you do that, you put in the 4th point and you go to coordinates, you'll see that you're going to get errors up here. And so the more points you put in, the more accurate it is, but also the more errors you're going to get. So you're going to put in 3 more points. I'm not going to bother here. You're going to have a total of 7. But then you can go ahead and use these errors to adjust the map. So if I click on this, it takes me to the error. If I zoom in, you can see this is 1 point, this is the other. So it's a pretty big error. And so we want to adjust that. So I'm going to go back to side by side. And here's my point. I'm going to take a closer look here. You're going to get errors no matter how good you try to do it, because these maps aren't perfect. So sometimes the option is just to change points. Get rid of this point, put it somewhere else. Or just to make occasional adjustments to see if you can improve the error somehow. And you just kind of play with it a little bit. That's a little bit better. Okay. Now, one thing to keep in mind, do not click on save until you're done. The free version doesn't allow you to save it. And if you try to save it now, you can't go back to it. So don't click on save until you have all your points in and you are comfortable with the error rates. And again, I don't expect you to have perfect error rates here. They're going to be off. That's okay. Just tell me what they are and see if you can improve them a little bit. That's all I'm asking for. Once you do all of that, you can click on save. Now here, what we can do, here's the campus map PDF file name. So we're going to click on continue. The first time we're going to go to folder, and we're going to find the folder we want to save the output to. Well, go back to downloads, higher ed, MWCC, data, chapter 3. There's the output folder. That's where we're going to put in the map we're going to make. Select that folder. And then I'm going to click on render over here. Rendering, it means it's generating the map. Okay, sometimes it takes a little while for it to render, so you just have to be a little patient. Now you can view the map. There it is. And you can use this map now in other places. If you had a GIS program where you needed this map, it's now geo-referenced. It has coordinates, and you can use it in many, many other applications. That's the whole point of doing this. Let's close the preview. We're going to do this again, but this time we're going to peg this map to Google Earth itself. So I'm going to go back several times until I see Google Earth. There it is right there. So I just click back. And then you click on this. There's the campus map. Click on continue. It's going to render. This time I'm going to put it under GE for Google Earth. That's going to be my folder. And click on render here. You can see it starting. Again, just be patient, it takes a while. Okay, so now we can view it. If you have Google Earth installed, it's going to automatically open it up, which you should have because you've done the other two labs with Google Earth. And it's going to show it to you pegged to the globe right there. Pretty cool. Let me know if you have any questions, and I think you'll have fun with this one. If the computer program, the application fritzes out on you, just start again. This lab does not take very long to do, and sometimes because it's a free program, it's a little buggy. And if you do have any trouble, just let me know.